Okay. Now, what I wanted before you leave, remind me of the things I can do that will help before we leave. Because
make the right choices in products that you buy and the energy that you use. Learn about it thoroughly so that you see the things in your own life.
Let me ask you a question right there. Frozen waffles okay?
As long as you don't heat them up, it's fine.
All right, good. All right, make the right choices, sure. What else?
Yeah. And become involved politically, regardless of what party you might be oriented toward. Insist that the candidates for every office in both parties make this the #1 priority. I mean, this is by far the most serious challenge that we have ever faced. And a lot of people began to ask me when I came out with this movie, why is it, the evidence is so overwhelmingly clear, why have we been so slow to respond to it? And that's really why I dug into this issue that's covered in the Assault on Reason, because there have been a lot of things where the facts pile up, the evidence is really clear, and we've been going in the opposite direction. You know, the facts were really clear that it was, beforehand, that it was a mistake to invade Iraq, but we went ahead and did it in spite of what the evidence should have led us to do.
Right.
And
let me interrupt you. What should we have done? What did the evidence suggest, if not Iraq? What should we have done?
We should have. President Bush did the right thing in going into Afghanistan after Osama bin Laden. We should have stayed until we caught Osama bin Laden. A lot of the intelligence showed that he was trapped there.
What is the... Giving everybody now the benefit of the doubt, what really do people think will be a positive outcome in Iraq? Let's just say it wasn't a mistake to go in there. What are we hoping for there? What is the administration hoping for? How will that turn out to be a job well done? Just assuming everybody was right about the reasons to go in.
Well, I can't make that assumption. It was the worst strategic mistake in the history of the United States of America. It was a terrible mistake. And you know, watching these sailors and Marines who came in earlier, God bless you, and the troops that are over there, God bless you, thank you. But they deserve a decision-making process that does not put them in a situation, for example, where they're trapped in the middle of a civil war. Here's the basic point. We were attacked on 9/11, and we wanted to do everything, and Iraq was not responsible for that. Saddam Hussein was a bad guy, and there might have been other reasons to go after him. The risks, in my view, clearly outweighed those benefits. But the problem is, the country was presented with all of these statements that convinced more than 2/3 of Americans that the person responsible for the attacks on 9/11 was Saddam Hussein. Mm-hmm. And that was the bedrock reason why there was a vote to go in and invade Iraq. And it's not just the White House. We're all responsible for the decisions our country makes. We have a free press, we have free speech, we have a Congress, the courts, checks and balances. If they're all failing to stop a huge mistake like that, we have to examine some cracks in the foundation of democracy. If reason, facts, and knowledge are being brushed aside in favor of impressions and ideological desires, where the facts are just considered nuisances, let's push them out of the way, then it's no wonder that we make big mistakes like this. And we've got to address, we've got to bring people back into the conversation of democracy and stop making decisions on the basis of just ideology and impressions and preconceived notions.
Okay. You're with that program? Yeah. We'll be right back with Al Gore.
Yes it is. Yes it is. Yes it is. Save the planet. Who will save our planet? Hey, here he comes. Who will volunteer? save my planet?
All right, so you're telling us a little bit about the assault on reason, and is it the assault on the Bush administration or reason generally?
There are a number of examples of bad, what I regard as bad decisions, many of them from the last 6 years, but for other examples as well, that show how the reasoning process that was really the bedrock of what our founders thought would guide our democracy has been assaulted. And the way we converse in America about the choices we have to make is really one of the issues that needs to be addressed. We have been hearing more in the media about Paris Hilton and Britney and K-Fed and all of this stuff than we have been hearing about CO2 absorption and the fact that that people watch an average of 4.5 hours per day, and it's filled with all these trivialities. It can be very entertaining, but it's to the exclusion of giving people a chance to really get the facts and participate in making the decisions and avoiding these serious mistakes.
But isn't that a problem that has been around from the beginning of society?
It has, and it's a mistake to romanticize the past and say there was ever a golden age, but it did used to be better. There used to be more of a chance to put the facts on the table and have a reasoned discussion.
Well, you were telling me during the commercial that you thought that very clearly there was a connection between global warming and Paris Hilton's arrest.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you're onto something there. Oh, golly. Here's the book, Al Gore, and you're thinking about running? Not thinking about running. You're thinking about it. You probably run, right? Why not? Give it another shot.
I am not thinking about running.
It's called The Assault on Reason, in stores now. Former Vice President Al Gore. Always a pleasure, Al. Thank you very much for coming by. We'll be right back with Jim Short.